Hey everyone, it's Smitha. Today we're going to be doing a video where I try a bunch of lip products perfect for the all beauty lover, and all of these lip products are ones that I've tried recently. Some of them are new, a few of them are a little bit older. I love doing videos like these because I just love discovering more interesting lip products, and I feel like in general indie brands do this the best, although we've had a few kind of fun lip products come out from some mainstream brands as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. And before I try on these lip products, I do want to tell you what I have on my eyes. I am wearing the Beaute Bar Ocean Jewel palette. This came out actually around this time last year. I want to say May of 2025, and here is what the inside looks like. I kind of stayed more in this kind of blue purple columns, but I also just love the pop of lime, and I often have to resist using the lime in my look. But because a lot of the lip products I'm trying on are cooler toned, I wanted to stay in the blues and purples. A bunch of people have actually told me that they've discovered my channel through my lip series, so it's been something that's really important for me to maintain and keep up. The first products that I'm going to try are from Beaute. They actually just did a collaboration with Jessica Hayes, and the one product that I was super excited about is the Frost lipstick. And this is called Static. It's described kind of as a mocha grayish. I really love the Frost lipstick formula. I actually have my own Frost that I did in collaboration with them at the kind of beginning of last year. It's called Moonchild, and it's kind of like a garnet colored, the deepest Frost that they have. This is a beautiful nude tone shade that is just perfect for day to day. I have tried this on before, but I'm going to show you what it looks like all on its own. I would say this is more of a mid-tone Frost, so you know, it is a little bit light on me without a liner, but with a liner it is beautiful. No surprises here. I'm going to go in with my favorite cool toned brown liner. This is Char from Unearthly. It has a beautiful depth to it. And here's what the shade Static looks like applied with a liner. I think there's no question that this one looks better with a liner on me, but this is a beautiful shade, and the Frost formula is so incredibly comfortable. All right, and the next shade that I have is also from Beaute. This is one of their new glosses, also in collaboration with Jessica Hayes. I've talked about their gloss formula quite a bit. I adore it. I think it's actually my favorite gloss formula period, like overall. It just feels so hydrating on the lips, and I feel like it has, you know, a decent longevity too. You do have to reapply it, but just non-sticky and just feels like it hugs the lips. So this is the shade Veil, and this was made as being like basically her perfect concealer shade. So, you know, obviously this is another one that I have to apply it very differently than someone like Jessica Hayes, who has pale skin. So I put on, again, a little bit extra lip liner, and I'm just going to put the smallest amount kind of in the center. And that's really it, because I can overdo this very easily. But on me with a liner, I do feel like this is a beautiful shade, and it could also be used kind of to mix in with other shades as well to just kind of lighten a little bit in the center. One thing I do really hope is that Beaute makes some deeper nude glosses, because I would absolutely love having the option of having like some richer brown shades that I could just wear all on their own. But I think that this is a useful shade. It's just that I would definitely pair it with a liner for me. The next shade I have is from ColourPop, and this is their most recent black gloss. This one actually has a little bit of a purple undertone, and this is their gloss sticks that are pretty pigmented. You can see it's just ever so slightly purple, kind of warm tone leaning, but this is a really cool shade, and I really enjoy this formula as well. I would describe these as a kind of medium to full opacity gloss. So, you know, they're not super sheer in my opinion. The one thing I will say about this black gloss from ColourPop is that it is a little bit hard to get it to apply perfectly evenly. I don't feel like it looks, too streaky, but it is just something I want to mention. Here's what it looks like applied. And I have a video actually where I try on a whole bunch of shades from this line, so I'll go ahead and link that in the cards as well. But I have to say, this is definitely one of the coolest lip shades that I've tried from ColourPop recently. All right, and the next products I'm going to try on are from Beaute Bar. These are their Sparkle Bombs, and they have actually been coming out with these for, I want to say, close to a year at this point. And I have to say, these have really grown on me. I wasn't sure how I felt about them at first. Like, I thought they were cool, but I absolutely love the fact that the formula is comfortable and they're coming out with some really cool shades as well. These are the two that came out in their most recent collection, Arch of Color. So I'm gonna try those on. I do have a warm undertone, so I do feel like, this orange is gonna be a little bit polarizing, but it does work well on me. I love that these are clear too, so you know what shade that it is before you open it. This is the shade Sunshine. It has a buildable pigmentation, and honestly, I can't feel the sparkle in these. I wonder if the formula has changed ever so slightly, because I feel like I could feel it just a little bit in some of the older shades, but not in these newer shades. So let me try this orange one on. I ended up really loving this shade Sunshine. You can see, like, you could just apply this for a wash of color. I've built it up a little bit, but you can build it up also for a pretty high opacity as well. I love that they did an orange, because I also feel like orange in particular is a shade that I don't often see from brands, even that do cool, interesting shades. All right, and the next shade also in the Arch of Color collection is called Daydream. And this is kind of like a kind of teal. It has more green in it than I expected. This is a really cool shade. Here's what it looks like swatched on the back of my hand. It has pink reflect all throughout it. Now this one I feel like is a little bit less harmonious on my skin tone, but I still really like it. I think it's an interesting shade. And I do feel like this one would be fun to just kind of top over other lip combos as well. I do think I'm going to go ahead and try that just to see what it looks like. But here is what the shade Daydream looks like. All right, and just because I'm curious to see what this would look like topped over a darker lip, I used a lipstick, but I feel like a liquid lip would also be great as a base for this. Just gonna put a little bit over top of Bare Maximal from MAC. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you can see mostly just the pink sparkle when you apply it over top. Here's what the shade Daydream looks like topped over Bare Maximal. All right, now I'm going to try on a bunch of products that I recently got from Unearthly. They have a collection on their site called Hardware. It includes some lipsticks, a liquid lipstick, a gloss, and a liquid shadow as well. And the shade that I have absolutely been loving is this gloss called Gunmetal. There was a time that they had one of my favorite gloss trios called Gargoyle, but I haven't seen that recently. Here is what Gunmetal looks like swatched in the back of my hand. Now, I really, really love their gloss formula. I find it to be comfortable. It's packed with sparkle, but you can't feel that sparkle whatsoever. And they tend to be very pigmented as well. So this is a shade that I think looks really nice all on its own. I just think that it's something about the depth of this shade that makes it work well on my skin tone, because, grayscale lip products can be tricky on brown skin. but this one has a beautiful depth to it. And I would say this is a full opacity gloss. Here is what it looks like applied. Here is what it looks like with flash. The one thing I do want to mention is that to me, this does have a fruity scent to it. So if you're sensitive to scents, it is something to keep in mind. All right, the next shade I have from Unearthly is one of their Menacing Metals, and I feel like they are really known for this formula. Just really unique shades in this line. And as the name implies, they have a metallic look to them, a little bit more metallic than frosty. This is the shade Chrome. The packaging is magnetic. It feels luxe. This is what Chrome looks like in the bullet. And let me show you what it swatches like on the back of my hand. This is definitely a shade that, wow, look how reflective this one is. This is definitely a shade that I wouldn't wear on its own. All right, now I just want to show you what this looks like as a topper because I actually really like this one used that way. So I put on Bare Maximal, which is a rich brown lipstick from MAC. I'm just going to put a little bit of this over top. And here's what the shade Chrome looks like topped over Bare Maximal. You could definitely put this over a lot of other deep lipsticks too and get a similarly really cool effect, I think. All right, the next shade I have from Unearthly is called Concrete. This is a cream lipstick, and I would describe this as a slate gray. I don't think that I've tried the cream lipstick formula before, but I have to say it is quite comfortable. And again, this is a gray lipstick. So, you know, it is something on me that I have to start off with a heavy liner. So I put down Char from Unearthly, and I'm just going to add a little bit into the center of the lip. I would also use this as a mixing shade as well. And I have tried mixing gray lipsticks, especially with shades that I like want to lighten a little bit, cool down a little bit. So I do think that's another really good way of using a lipstick like this. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of Bare Maximal kind of around the edges because I want to focus that shade Concrete more in the center. And here's my final lip combo. Now, I do want to say this shade you could totally wear on your own if you have paler skin, but I just feel like for me, I have to use this as some type of lip combo. All right, and the final shade I have from Unearthly is called Steel. This is a new to me formula. This is one of their liquid lipsticks. And here is what the shade looks like on the back of my hand. It kind of looks to me like a blue toned gray shade. Really pretty color. I want this in a liquid shadow. I kept on my lip liner and I'm just gonna try to apply the smallest amount and then blend it in. This is so pigmented. You really do need the smallest amount. I do think it looks cool focused on the center of the lip. Here's my lip combo using the shade Steel. I have to say, I like this formula. It doesn't feel too drying on the lips. I would have to see how it wore kind of throughout the day. See if it transfers. Yeah, it's not completely transfer proof, which is probably why it is a little bit more comfortable. All right, and I have just a couple more lip products, starting off with an oldie but a goodie. I don't think I've tried this one on camera before, but this is one of the OG lip clays from Kaleidos, and this is the shade Agave, which is a teal. And I like to say that I really do feel like these lip clays were ahead of their time, and the shade is just so cool. I feel like this is a shade for those of us with medium to deeper skin tones. Not that you couldn't rock this shade if you had a lighter skin tone as well. I just feel like lip products like this are sort of having a moment right now. Like we have the Cloud Whips from ColourPop, and I just feel like blurred lips in general are having a moment right now. And these just came out like so many years ago. No one was doing them like this. Here is what the shade Agave looks like applied. Their coolest shade in my opinion. Not transfer proof, but not bad, honestly. All right, and the last lip product I have to try on is from Blend Bunny. It's actually part of the Masterclass collection made in collaboration with Jordan Liberty. They have some really cool shades in this line, and of course, I love how inclusive that line is as well. And this is the shade Body Count. I would describe this as a reddish brown. Here is what it looks like swatched in the back of my hand. Pigmented. I think this is going to be another one. Super flattering on medium to deeper skin tones. And I just honestly haven't seen a gloss in this shade before. The red tone in this one just makes it a little bit vampy. And here's what the shade Body Count looks like applied. I think this may actually be one of my favorite gloss shades that I've tried from Blend Bunny. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous about pigmented glosses like these is getting them on your teeth. But besides that, I absolutely love this shade. All right, now that we've had a chance to go through everything, I would love to know if you enjoy discovering weird and interesting lip shades as much as I do, and which of these shades that I tried on was your favorite and how you would use them in lip combos. Definitely let us know down in the comments. If you made it to the end of this video, I would love it if you left me a gray heart emoji. Let me know if you enjoy seeing this style of content. And as always, I really hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.